Look at all the people in the chat. How freaking cool is that? I'm going to grab that chat window. I'm going to bring it over here for the moment. Let's see. Good morning. Hey. Man. 5 waiting, 4 likes. Someone failed to click the like. There you go. I like that. I'm gonna put that right there in the chat. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Bob, K6UDA. And, yeah, you know what we're going to talk about today? Hiding your stuff, guys. Big ol' things. Man, that thing is freaking heavy. Forgot how heavy that is. Let's see. Jeff is in the house. I see Jeff in the house. Man, only 3 nodes hooked up. I did talk to one guy just to test the radio to make sure it's working. But very, very little in the way of radio this morning. So we'll see.
7GRS.
Aha! There's my boy. Extra Garrett, what is happening?
Not much, Bob. Just tuning into the chat or to the show.
Beautiful, beautiful. Are you on YSF today, or are you on a local node?
I have it set to YSF reflector 56, I believe.
All right, sounds good. I will talk to you in a few. We're doing just kind of a BS session here on YouTube. Talk to you in a bit. K6UDA. Okay.
Good. N7GRS7.
So, it's working. It is working. You know what? I do want to play for you guys. Because I do have a few still. Here we go. I am so freaking excited. These are the new K6UDA challenge coins. The fun side over here and the more serious side over here. You might be asking yourself, how, Bob? How do I get one of these? Send me a PayPal payment, $10.50. I will pop you one of these things in the mail. I'm Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3. Hey, I get to play my own ads. How cool is that? AK7RM. My brother, what is happening? Rob. Miko Wolf, good morning, America. Yeah, hey. Man, lots of stuff going on in the news this week. But we will get to that in just a little bit. 21 people on the stream right now. 13 thumbs up. Can I make it 21? Except for the 1 or 2 guys that always like to give a thumbs down. You guys just give me your engagement. I don't care. Thank you for your engagement. Let's see. What all do we have going on? Good morning, everyone in the People's Republic of Michigan. Wow. We have lots of People's Republics these days. And it's time we take our country back. I firmly believe that. Let's see what is going on this morning. Let's get the show screen up. And I'll move that over. Steve, no node this morning. Had to take wife to the grocery store. Okay. Well, I guess. Wondering, Jeff, are you going to be on the radio? Now we got 5 nodes. So we've got KD8IOK is in the house. I was kind of wondering about you, Jeff. And somebody had linked in and just walked out. DFP is in the house, so the 442 link should be up and running now locally. Man, and we got 9 minutes before the start of the actual net. What have you guys been doing this week? One of the things that I've been doing, let's see. Jeff says, not showing as valid calls. KF5, HKQ, and KF5, YNA not showing as valid calls. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. What have you guys been doing this week? What is going on? And welcome in WC4FM. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of a cool call. Whiskey Charlie 4 FM. Let's see. What have I been doing? I've been working on all the usual farm suspect things. Irrigation, mowing, equipment, built the wife another garden box. We're starting to get all that stuff running for the year. Major Bob, haven't checked today's mail yet.
Good morning, Idaho Command, WC4FM.
WC4FM, K6UDA, good morning, and we're going to be starting the net here in just a few minutes. Let's see, haven't checked the mail.
All right, we'll be hanging out down here in the Peach State, just east of Atlanta, WC4FM. We'll be watching the show.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we'll talk to you in a few. K6UDA. All right. So, what was I saying? Man, we got a few people showing up. It's starting to roll. On the disposition of armament. Okay. NetLogger is up. Jeff is telling me that NetLogger is up and running. He's got 14 of you guys logged in so far. So if you're on the internet, if you're on the live stream right now, and you want to be logged in as a net member, please put it in the chat. Your first name, your call sign, and where you're from. And Jeff, KD8IOK, my trusty sidekick, Tonto, he'll get you logged in there right away. Let's see. The CU CV farmer. He got me my grass mowed last night. He's been busy at work. We got more cows in. Oh, nice. That's we're working on getting a couple of cows in here. We'll see how that goes. I've got to do a little bit more fencing I want to kind of separate them from where the horses go. Let's see. Jared Brown is in the house in Boise. Nice. Very, very cool. And it looks like 29 people in the house right now. 17 thumbs up. Thank you guys for that. That is freaking awesome. Let's see. What do we have? I've got like 4 minutes. Like I said, a lot of things going on in the news. And I'm thinking that it's just gonna get more and more. We're gonna have a lot more shit happening coming up in the next few months. Let's see. Yeah, things in the news. I've got them. I've got some of them in my sit rep here. Let me go ahead and we'll look at that. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about California just passed a new gun law legislation. AB 1406. I can't believe what California does. They do the most insane things. You know it's going to get thrown out. It's going to get thrown out. It's increasing their waiting period. Their waiting period that the 3-judge panel of the 9th has already deemed unconstitutional. Increases that to 30 days. So if after 10 days, the state of California, in its infinite wisdom and their belief that that they can't get your background check done in the 10 days, they can then institute another 30 days, up to 40 days of you don't get your gun. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Let's see. I try to stay on top, especially of the 2A stuff. Man. So we'll go through a lot of this stuff, a lot more in the sit reps here. And if any of you out there in live stream land, wherever you may be, if you guys have a little tidbit of information that you could put it in the chat, and Jeff will get to it and provide that as a sit rep. Let's see. Oh, Matt sounds, Matt, I have not heard you coming into the repeater at all. I'm wondering if the repeater's even working. I think it is. I would imagine it is, because I'm going out over it. But hey, we'll see. We've got 7 nodes, currently 7 nodes in there. We're getting ready to start this thing up. So give me a minute. What's your call? I would like to get you in the log. Oh, yeah. Get Matt in the log. Matt is a local here, and he's usually very good to get sit reps out and all that good stuff. Very, very cool. I want to remind you guys, immediately after the show, we're going to start migrating over to the Southern Idaho Command Discord server. And let's see, I believe there's the link. If you haven't been on the Discord server yet, there's an invite. Just type that into your browser, and you could get in and join in all the fun there on the Idaho Command. So we'll get you going. All right, it is time for me to key up the radio and get this going. Good morning, Idaho. It is 0900 hours. This is K6UDA from the Southern Idaho Command, and welcome to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. This net meets every Saturday morning, 0900 hours Mountain Time on the K6UDA repeater located in Twin Falls, Idaho. This is a digital-only net accessible via Wires X room 40448, the Idaho Command. Also accessible on YSF reflector 56026, the YouTubers YSF room, or locally here on the Hanson Butte 2-meter fusion repeater on 145.170. Local hams without a digital radio can also participate on the 442.000 in analog mode. The purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issues, communication gear, and techniques. I'm looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on these various subjects. If you have material you'd like to present or discuss, when you check in, please indicate that you have a subject. Although not primarily political, discussion of relevant political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. As for check-ins, in order to give everyone an opportunity, and this especially goes for the Wires X and the YSF check-ins, I'm going to break it up. I'm going to ask for local repeater check-ins, then Wires X, then YSF, and then we'll get to live stream comments. Jeff, KD8IOK, is in charge of NetLogger, and we'll be logging you guys in. He'll also be in charge of getting the information out from the live stream if I'm not picking it up. You're encouraged to check in with your first name, call sign, location, how you're getting into the net. This is for the radio people, i.e. the local repeater, Wires X, or YSF. That being said, do we have any local check-ins?
Falls, Idaho.
All right, KJ7RAR, Terry in Twin Falls. Welcome to the net. Thanks for joining. And do we have any other local repeater check-ins? Any of the 3 local repeaters in the Magic Valley?
This is KJ7JTK. Checking in on the back radio.
All right, KK7JTK from 4 miles away. Thanks for checking in. Any other local check-ins? All right, how about Wires X check-ins? Anybody on Wires X? We've got 9 nodes connected, so there should at least be 8 or 9 people to check in there.
KD8IOK, trusty sidekick, checking in to be official.
All right, KD8IOK, thanks for checking in. And thanks for running things on the back end there, Tonto. Any other Wires X check-ins?
K6 UDA, please copy WC4FM. Wonders, I'm over here in Echo Mike 83, Walton County, Georgia. This is my first time checking in on the command, Idaho command net, and I appreciate you holding the net today. And I got you going out on the, I got you on the PDN I'm talking to you on, and you're also going out over the air on the HRI 200 in the neighborhood over here in Walton County, and maybe we'll have some other people that'll hear us on the net today and check in with you. WC4FM, back to net.
All right, WC4FM. Thanks for checking in all the way from back east and down south. Let's see, any other Wires X check-ins?
November 7, Romeo, Bravo, Papa, Medford, Oregon.
All right, N7 RBP from Medford. Thanks for checking in. Check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. We're looking for Wires X still.
KF0 OHU, Sean, Minnesota.
All right, KF0 OHU Sean in Minnesota. Thanks for checking in. Good to see you on the net this morning. Anybody else? Wires X. All right, then let's go ahead and look for check-ins from YSF, the YSF room, 56026.
KE8WSH, built in Portland, Michigan.
K8WSH, thanks for checking in. Any more YSF check-ins? Oh, I just caught a little piece of that. I was looking away from the screen. Try again.
KN6 EVQ, Mark in Patterson, California.
All right, KN6 EVQ. Thanks for checking in, Mark, and welcome to the net. YSF check-ins.
UPY, Tim in Northwest Illinois.
All right, KB9 UPY. Good morning, Tim, and welcome to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. My name is Bob, K6UDA. I'm the net control for today's session. And let's see, we're still looking for YSF check-ins. I'm just going to kind of open it up, anybody, anywhere. Okay, looks like that's it for right now. Let's see, Jeff, do we have anything coming from the live stream side?
Only thing I've made note of so far is that Pamela is on and says it's rain, 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 and more rain in Tennessee.
Okay, and welcome Pamela. Pamela helps out a tremendous tremendous amount on the back end too. Something in my throat there. It's raining here too, so welcome to the rain, everybody. All right, this morning a couple of sit reps that I had prepared. First on the list, we were talking earlier about California. California has passed a new gun control law, AB 1406, which increases the waiting period from 10 to 30 days to pick up your gun after you buy it. I don't know how they think they're going to get away with this when they've already had the Ninth Circuit 3-judge panel determine that was unconstitutional. And that was before Bruin. I'm going to let it drop. The state of Oregon. Oregon small farmers, half acre to 5 acres, and I guess even bigger than that, are being shut down by the state. State of Oregon is sending out a second round of letters to small farmers demanding that they shut down operations and pay upwards of $2,000 for water rights application. The state is demanding that these farmers provide studies to show how their water use affects the groundwater supply. It's almost impossible for these guys to do that. The state is trying to limit the amount of food that is being grown in that area. Another control tactic by the state. Let's see. Recently declassified report detailing the authorization of deadly force against President Trump and his Secret Service detail when they raided Mar-a-Lago. What was that, back a year or two ago? Kind of interesting, because on any search warrant, the use of deadly force is authorized under circumstances. If they're met with deadly force, they can use it. But to have a specific authorization to use it and against the Secret Service, man, our Justice Department is really off the rails. Let's see. There is a new federal bill to ban .50 caliber rifles and ammo. It's been introduced into the House by 2 Texas reps and 1 Florida rep. Wouldn't think that. It is called the Stop Arming Cartel Act. It would make it illegal to possess, buy, sell, trade .50 cal firearms or ammo. Current owners would have to register their rifles as NFA items. Mine, I think, fell into a lake. And one more from me. A Texas judge had blocked a new ATF rule forcing private citizens to obtain FFLs in order to sell their private firearms. That is a fairly recent new block. Does anybody have any other sit reps? AK7JTK, go ahead.
Yeah, we got a lot of foreign news, a little bit of local news here, but just some things that we've been kind of tracking over the last couple months, at least that I've been participating in that. One of the local ones is that the U.S. is moving 1 million barrels out of the strategic oil reserve again, and the thought was that it's going to relieve gas prices. The reality is that number of barrels would only fuel the U.S. for about 2.5 hours. So the implication of it easing fuel prices is probably not very high, but it is, however, removing barrels from the strategic reserve. So the other counterpose could be that it's in order to cause them to need emergency powers to get fuel break. We've been tracking China operating in Taiwanese airspace, and last week they had 32 flights, and I think it was less than 10 naval ships. This week, China did announce that they're doing a joint sword operation. Of course, they're doing it in Taiwanese waters, so they had 49 military aircraft this week, 19 naval aircraft and 17 Coast Guard, naval boats, 17 Coast Guard planes flying in and around Taiwanese airspace. Taiwan, of course, reacted by putting more missile batteries in strategic points on the island. They did get a new president this week, and they think that's maybe why China is doing this additional flexing this week. Break. Last week, we reported on a new situation happening in New Caledonia. It's a small French-owned island to the west of New Zealand and Australia, and they had changed the way voting worked there locally, and then all the local residents kind of rebelled. So French has sent more troops over to this island, and Australia and New Zealand are running repatriatism flights. They're pulling nationals out of those countries to bring them back to their home countries, just because it looks like the war is getting ready to kick off there, or whatever that's going to be. Break. Also, I'm sure that we heard the news that Iran's prime minister went down in a helicopter crash this week. It's really close to the border of Azerbaijan. In Azer, there's been kind of this ground war, which was the precursor to Russia and Ukraine. Both were kind of on both sides of that. There was some land that was disputed, and Iran and Azer are allies, and so we're not exactly sure where he was coming from. The reports have been misleading this week. We heard it was a single helicopter, and that no one was around his helicopter. Obviously, it's a military flight, like a presidential flight. In theory, that almost operates in multiple helicopters, and then that's coming back out. So a lot of disinformation happening there. A lot of people, different countries blamed. U.S. has been blamed. Israel's been blamed. So it's interesting. Just kind of keep tracking that and see what's going on. What kind of lies we're getting, Break.
Matt, you have more?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was not hitting my PCP button. In North Carolina, there was a shooting that happened on May 3rd. We're just finding out about it this week. It was a special forces. We're not even sure what branch. And the person that got shot and killed was working for the power company. As the investigation went further and further, he was not on the clock. He wasn't wearing any power company. He didn't have any utilities. Was in the homeowner's front yard. They did call in as trespassing, but before the cops were able to arrive, the shooting occurred. Turns out he was a foreign national from Czechoslovakia. The thought is that he possibly was doing information gathering. This is the same power company that was hacked in 2022. And then one more hacking event. The ports in the same area of North Carolina were under cyber attack this week, and they finally got those back and up and running yesterday. The port is back open, but it's kind of crazy to have a couple ports closed, whether it's by boat accidents or cyber attacks. And that's it for my report this morning for the preparedness plan.
All right, KK7JTK, Matt, thank you so much. That you are a sitrep god. I will just say that. I see a whole bunch of stuff coming through on the live stream side. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff KD8IOK to bring us up to date on some of those sitreps.
KD8IOK, got quite a few. Let's see, I'm going to go backwards. Pamela Crabtree says, in other news, Iran and Antarctica Treaty, Biden's changing the Antarctica Treaty. Also, China is building polar icebreaker ships. Scrolling back. Steelwolf13 says the 13th county in Oregon has signed up to join Greater Ohio. Residents in Crook County, Oregon approved the Greater Ohio Measure Tuesday that would require the county to proceed with efforts to secede from the state and join Idaho. Voters have passed the measure, with 53% making it the 13th county in eastern Oregon to approve it. The voters of Eastern Oregon have spoken loudly and clearly in their desire to see border talks move forward with the latest result in Cook County. There's no excuse left for the legislature and governor to continue to ignore the people's wishes, Greater Idaho Executive Director Matt McCaw said in a statement. And Mr. Radio states, and I believe this has to do with the bill to possibly ban 50 calibers. 60 Minutes placed a report that said that 50 calibers were capable of shooting jets out of the sky. And CUCV farmer here in Michigan states that Ukraine hit a Russian detector of incoming missiles in Russia yesterday. And that is all I have for now. Oh, and my apologies. I said Ohio, even though I was reading Idaho. Steel Wolf has corrected me. So, Ohio is not. Stop laughing, Bob. It's not funny. Ohio's not joining Idaho. Oregon wants to join Idaho.
Thank you, Jeff. That's awesome. I enjoy getting a laugh, and it wasn't about the Idaho thing. It wasn't about Greater Idaho, which has been a movement for a while. Southern Oregon has previously wanted to join in or been part of the state of Jefferson movement. That's kind of petered out. And so now they want in on the Greater Idaho thing. Let's see. What I was laughing about was the 50 cal comment that they could shoot jets out of the sky. It takes people don't understand what it takes to shoot a bolt action 50 cal, which almost all of them that are available for civilian use are bolt action 50 cals, and to shoot a jet out of the sky, you got to be the best 50 cal shot in the world. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do we have any other sit reps from anybody on the radio side?
JTK, I forgot I had one more, Bob.
All right, KK7, JTK, and then I believe RAR was in there too.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention that actually just yesterday, Russia cut a border fence going into Estonia that Estonia put up just 10 days ago after a recent border dispute with Russia. So I don't know that that's anything big going on, but it's just something to note. Just one more. Russia trying to figure out what lands they own. Maybe they want to fight over it. That's it for me.
All right, thanks, Matt. Terry in Twin Falls, go ahead.
Well, actually, it wasn't me. But the only thing that I was thinking about is that the drone warfare is beginning to be the major thing where people can set up a drone. Well, I said people, I mean countries can set up a drone that costs $1,000, $10,000 to attack and do damage, and it takes millions of dollars of missiles to try to combat them. And so drone warfare, we're going to see more of that, more swarms, and that's going to be a major tool that will go against our ships, and we're seeing that in every place. So just that's something to be thinking about in the future. Over.
Yeah, definitely. Something to think about, guys. When you see those little drones, they could have they're going to start having, or some of them, a nefarious mission. Okay, let's see. This is Bob, K6GDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. We'll take a few check-ins, and then we'll move into our main topic. Check-ins.
If I'm making the repeater, KV7SQ.
All right, Lance, you are making the repeater, KB7SQS. Good to see you, and welcome.
KJ7RAR, one more thing.
Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
It's now being reported that UN soldiers dressed as immigrants are coming into the country now by the tens of thousands, with the thought and idea of that when the time came, and things like a new COVID type pandemic, that they would put on their uniforms and begin to work with the government to facilitate obedience. So it's been understood that literally hundreds of thousands of UN soldiers have been trained by us and to be prepared, and they're here already, like I said, as undercover UN soldiers, but they're not in uniform at this point. They're just looking like immigrants. So I've heard that in several places, and whether it's true or not, I tend to believe it might be. Just a thought. KJ7RAR.
Yeah, these days I don't doubt anything. Lance, did you have anything else? I saw your call sign flash.
No, I got nothing else. I'm on the edge of the repeater, so we'll catch you later. KV7SQS.
All right, we'll catch you later. Any other check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net? Okay, our main topic today is about hiding valuables. And to start this one off, I want to tell you a story about World War II. This comes from a good family friend of ours. Her name is Inga. She was born in Germany prior to Nazi Germany. She was a little girl when the Nazis took over, and she told us a story about how her mother, after the Nazis took over, had buried gold, jewelry, and their valuables, so the Nazis wouldn't come into the house and take all that stuff. Their buried treasure was there so she could buy or barter for goods and food to feed the family. When everything else went completely scarce and money wasn't any good in Germany anymore, she was able to barter from farmers and get enough food to feed the young children. Her husband and oldest son were conscripted into the German army. They thought they were never going to see him again. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, when it was time for them to go on the run, she dug up her loot and took the kids, and they were hopping freight trains, and they finally made it out to Switzerland. Today, we're hearing stories about military and police going door to door, taking all of your stored foods to supposedly feed the community, leaving you in the same predicament as those who didn't prepare, and more importantly, forcing you to depend on the government, FEMA camps, and so on to feed you and control you. During the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, we watched as police officers from other states forced entry into private homes of people that didn't kowtow to the government or abandon their houses for the FEMA camps, and they confiscated firearms, food, and they completely violated the Constitution under the guise of martial law, which wasn't even, I don't even believe there was a formal declaration of martial law in New Orleans. Most people never even got their private property back, even though the entire incident lasted no more than 2 or 3 weeks. So I ask, what's going to happen when a true SHTF event happens? An economic collapse, banking holidays, a stock market collapse, when the trucks stop delivering food, groceries dry up, looting and rioting start happening in major cities, and martial law is declared. What happens when World War III, a hot civil war, or a false flag thing happens? We're on the precipice of World War III right now, both in Europe and in the Middle East. A full 43% of people polled recently believe that a civil war is a very real possibility. How many believe that the current regime is capable and willing to carry out a false flag attack on our own soil with the intent of postponing or canceling a presidential election? So it brings me to hiding your stuff. So what do you want to hide? Food, ammo, firearms, tools, precious metal. Let me put that out to the group here on the radio and on YouTube. Radio first. Does anybody have any other things that should be hidden in these kinds of events. How about you guys out there on the live stream? Anything? Okay, no responses to that one. So anyway, those are the basic things that I have thought of that you would probably want to be hiding. Now you want to ask yourself, how are you going to hide it? Burial tubes. I have a small one here. This is it's 6 inches round. It's heavy PVC. This is heavy duty plumbing. That thing weighs probably 10 pounds for a little tiny 6-inch tube. And this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Things that you could conceivably bury in this small one. And it's built pretty stout. I would say this one is built very, very stout. It has been buried before. I've had food in there. I've had ammo, and I've had tools and firearms in there. Trash cans. You might want to hide stuff in trash cans. You could put stuff in dry bags. Septic tanks are a very good one. Places outside of a city are all going to have septic tanks, and an empty septic tank that's never been used for septic is clean, it's buriable, it'll hold up, and you could put a lot of stuff in there. Double bagging things. You want to pack your firearms that you're going to bury in grease. You want to liberally grease them. You want to include the tools you need to reassemble the stuff that you're burying, stuff that you think you're going to need. I had always buried a multi-tool along with that, or like I said, the needed tools that you needed to reassemble a firearm or another item that you might have wanted to bury. You want to make sure that you've got a moisture barrier. If you're burying stuff underground, especially in a climate like I live, where in the wintertime you've got a lot of moisture here. If you're back east, a lot of moisture. Out west in California, maybe not so much. Oxygen absorbers for your food. You want to make sure that if you're burying food items, that it's properly sealed, and you've got oxygen absorbers in there. Let me ask. I see one thing from the CUCV farmer. He's talking about matches. Another good thing to bury, as long as maybe they are all-weather matches. But yeah, good things to start a fire. Anybody on the radio have any input? Any fills? Need any info on anything?
KJ7 RAR.
KD8IOK with chat comments.
More, but some maps just in case you got to go a little bit further than you think you got to go. Make sure you got that compass ready. Do not let that compass leave your hand. You need to keep it close by and hid well. WC4FM, back to net.
All right, WC4FM, thanks for that. Terry first, and then Jeff.
of the things we often don't think about is our medical supplies that we're going to need, pharmaceutical things, medicine, stuff that we have to take on a regular basis. We need to make sure we're stocked up on that, if at all possible.
Yep. Good to keep in mind there. I don't know if I would want to bury it though. Jeff, with all the live stream comments.
KD8IOK. Several live stream comments. Going back, Steel Wolf recommended that we look into, I'm going to butcher the name, Kiwix, KIWIX, is a program that we should look at for offline, personally maintained library. I was able to do a quick search for it. So it's a free open source software that lets you download and access Wikipedia and other websites offline. So that could be helpful. And then later in the list, he says an old cell phone and solar charger with an offline Kiwix database. Good idea. Flash drive with digital documents backed up. Also a good idea. Several tools for repairs, medical, break. And then we have Pamela stated deck of cards with wild edible plant descriptions on harmonica for entertainment, I'm assuming. Small first aid kit for making tourniquets, stash in a waterproof container, place in a hollow tree. Howard Buck suggested possibly hoisting things up in trees. Load Smart suggests storing a supply of shoes, socks, and spare clothing. Good idea. We've got a couple suggestions for maps. Gene McGee suggests road flares. Good fire starter. And then TLC Golden says keep those good shoes, gloves, heavy-duty denim, and compass and axe. Miko Wolf says flint, steel, and other devices. Primitive firestone is good to know. He says he has 10 different ways to start a fire. So that's what I have for now.
All right, KD8IOK, thanks for translating onto the radio. Yeah, some good suggestions in there. I am thinking of things that you believe that government actors might want to confiscate for the good of the people. Your food, if there's food shortages, your guns, your ammo, your gold, silver, precious metals, other than in addition to lead. Those are kinds of some of the things that I was thinking of. So now we get to where to hide things. Do we hide it in plain sight? Maybe some stuff you want to try to hide in plain sight if there's a way to do that. You could bury things on your own property. But if the government, especially the government, wants to find it, they've got ground penetrating radar. They've got all kinds of new technologies that I'm not even up on to scan the terrain. So my big suggestion is things that you don't want them to find. You want to bury them off your own property. You can use other unsuspecting private property. You can use public land. You can use BLM. But you got to have a recovery plan. You've got to be able to figure out how X marks the spot. And for that, I would use a combination of maps, possibly GPS, but you can't really depend on GPS being able or being functional in a major situation. So maps and landmarks, and then knowing the land. So even if it changes, say wintertime, if it's covered in snow, you need to be able to find it. So you want landmarks, a treasure map, whatever other navigational aids you've got. And then if you need to hide or bury stuff, small caches along a bug out route or your bug out route. Oh, I think I cut off there for a minute. On the radio, did I cut out in the middle of that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Let me quickly run through a few of those again. My suggestions are burying stuff off your property. Around here, BLM land is a great place to do that. But you will need to have a recovery plan. You need to use a combination of landmarks, maybe a treasure map, navigational aids. If you need to hide or bury things along a route to your bug out location, if you've got one, and you have the ability to use the tools that you have to recover your stuff. Do you have a shovel if you need that? Do you have an axe? Do you have a way to get to the stuff that you've hidden once you get there? Bug out location routes, caches. These are small caches to help rearm and feed you. Small bags, small containers that have things like an MRE, freeze-dried food, survival bars and tablets, ammo for what you believe you'll be carrying. If you have several 9mm pistols, you'll want to have 9mm ammo. If you end up having a different firearm or different primary firearm along the way, that ammo can be used for bartering when you're on your way to your bug out location. Stashed firearms. So if you've got the ability to stash a firearm for your en route bug out location, I would say a life straw. Again, this has been brought up in the, and I'm going to let it break. Warm clothing, a change of socks. And I'm going to ask for input, fills, comments, or questions from the radio side. Wow, guys, it works a lot better if you guys participate too. Jeff, KD8IOK, do we have anything on the live stream front?
KD8IOK, I got a couple things. Shell says that she's thinking if you have the space available, hide your stores in multiple locations, but if space is limited, then choose the most needed and the most possible to be outlawed in the future. Pamela suggested using birdhouses to stash items in, And she said in her area there are a lot of birdhouses put out for preservation of wild bird species. So in a scenario like that, they wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb. They would just look like they are part of the facade. So that might be a good thing. Gene McPhee is suggesting the save and dryer Ziploc bag for great fire starter material. And I think that's all I saw as of right now.
Okay, very good. Thanks for helping out there and doing that. Some of those I totally agree with. Maybe some fire starter stuff in a bug out location cache, which are very small and they're just there to kind of help you along your way. When the military is moving, they get resupplied along the way. We're not going to be able to get resupplied if we're going to a bug out location. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to have to go to a bug out location. Personally, this is my stand right here. So anything that I'm keeping here. Let's see. Anything else from radio side?
The J7RAR.
Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the meds that one more time. If it ever gets to the point where the federal come into your house and go into your safe and do all these things against your will, if you do have a supply of medics that you've been storing up for years for an emergency, they will see that as something that they could use, and they will take it. And so, for example, if you use pain medicine, for example, break here. If you use pain medicine and you've been storing it up a little bit because you know that one of these days, if you're on Medicare, they're going to say, well, unless you get that shot, you're not getting any more medical assistance or anything like that. They will take it. And so even though you may want to keep some of it in your house, you may need to tuck it away somewhere underground, under your house, someplace where they won't be able to get to it. And that's a serious thing. Years ago, a decade, maybe two, I started saving some things knowing that one day this may happen. Now, if you need medicine, for example, they limit, you only get 1 month supply or 2 month supply, and that's it. So if that supply runs out, you're in deep doo-doo. So that's something we probably don't often think about. Burying it, I realize that's probably not the best idea, but it may be the only way you're going to be able to hide it, unless you can hide it someplace else. KJ7RAR.
Yeah, you know what? When you put it that way, it does make a lot of sense. I have a lot of questions on how to keep that stuff preserved. I know medication loses its potency, it changes, and I don't know how long it would last, say buried underground or hidden somewhere. I don't know. That's a good thing to try to research. Let's see. Jane McPhee on the live stream says lockpicking tools. Local laws won't matter. And that's probably true. At that point, I don't see a whole lot for local laws. Anyway, that is really all I've got for today. Does anybody have, on the radio side, or on the live stream side, does anybody have anything for the net, any other subjects, any questions, comments, or ideas for future nets that you want to see?
WC comment.
Yeah, WC4FM. Go ahead.
Hey, Roger.
Security is paramount to do it offline. If there's anything like that, it can't be done from a lot further away. If it's really...
Y'all might have seen some footage about the drones dropping their hand grenades on soldiers and all this other stuff. Anyway, that's going to be a big threat for everybody if the drone war gets started. I don't think we could discount drone war too in the new warfare that we hopefully we won't never have to see. But if it does happen, something to think about. It's going to be hard to hide from drones. I tell you what, I hope it never breaks out in this country. But anyway, on the medicine front, yeah, there's a lot of plants that we can get that can substitute. I know we're not pharmacists, but we need to get some books and have them around that tell us about different plants, have pictures of them, and have a lot of books in case our data gets destroyed. And that'd be something good to say, plant books to tell you what kind of medicine and plants you can go out and forage to get along in case you do lose your medicine supplies. Having a big supply of medicine for yourself for the future is not a bad idea. But anyway, good show. Good topics today. 73 is back to net, WC4FM.
All right. Hey, thanks for being part of the net. Thanks for participating in the net. This is what it's all about. Let's see. KB7 DFP. Were you in there, Ken? There was a double at the beginning of that last one. Ken or somebody that was on the 442. Okay, anybody else with anything, any last minute anythings? KD8IOK, do you have anything else for the net?
Kitty and okay. I do not, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm only half here in mind. I have unexpected company that popped in. But Gene McPhee has a suggestion for a future show on best survival knives. And let's see. I think that's the only pertinent thing to put on the radio. Other than that, as always, thank you for doing this. I always get something from your nets every single week and look forward to them every single week. Over. Oh, wait. Actually, 28 logs so far this week. So I think that's almost double what we had last week.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Looks like we've got 13 nodes hooked up right now, and I don't know how many we've got online because I'm not on that screen. Next week, I am thinking maybe we do a net on, we're going to get back to the radio stuff, but it is basically kind of a how to get on the net with an open spot, because that's what I use. but it could be like a clear node or one of the others hotspots. But getting on the net from the YSF side using a C4 FM radio like the Ieyasu Fusion radio, a D-Star, or a DMR radio. So I think next week maybe we'll do that one and kind of get back to the radio basics. Anyway, I have nothing else. It is 10 o'clock, and I am going to go ahead and return all the nodes and all the repeaters back to their normal repeater operation. This is Bob, K6UDA, with the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net 7-3, my friends. Okay. Well, guys. Yeah, W9, KEC, Kurt, go ahead.
Bob, I just wanted to say, my trouble I had last week. Thank you very much for your content, everybody, for us. It's been great. I've learned a lot on your channel and more precision on the gear that I buy. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I'm going to get every week now to this net. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you. Thanks again. 7-3,
Kurt, thank you so much. That is awesome. Can I ask where you're checking in from?
Yes, sir. I am located in Kokomo, Indiana.
Kokomo, Indiana. I think that might be my first Kokomo contact. So thank you.
Good deal, and definitely my first Idaho contact. All right, Bob, I'll let you do what you're doing. We'll catch you next week. 7-3.
All right, and K6UDA clear, and 7-3 all. All right, now we're back with you guys. Let me cruise on over here, and I think that was a pretty good net. Pretty good. Do you guys like the idea? Hang on here. I'm gonna take that one off. I'm gonna take that one off. I'm gonna run that back down to normal, and do you guys think the open spot, getting back to the radio thing, is a good topic for next week? Let me know in the chat. Anyway, Discord is up, and I am connecting. I'm all by myself there in Discord. 30 logged in today. How cool. Jeff, thank you. Man, I don't think that this net would be nearly what it is already without the help of Jeff on the back end there, of Pamela on the back end, with Matt with his sitreps are so much better than mine, and Terry, who's always got something really interesting to say. Let's see. Who do we have? The dog. KD8IOK is in there, and Pamela under her assumed identity. her gamer identity. Let's see. Tim Roman says, yeah, it's a good topic for next week. And I'm going to jump back over here into the YouTube space. Right now, 28 people online, 27 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. You know what? If the guy who gives me thumbs down on every video and every live stream, the one guy or 2 guys, would speak up, don't sit in the shadows in your mom's basement. Put your name out there in the chat, like right now, and just say, I don't care if you just say, hey, you suck, you're a piece of shit, and I don't like you, or whatever. But you know what? Let's all be out in the open about it. So I'll move that over here so we could see. I'm going to give our friend, our thumbs down friend, I'm going to give you just a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump out of YouTube here. Again, we've got a few people over here in on the Discord server, and Gene is in there. Matt is in there. Jeff is in there. Denise is in there. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic for the moment here on well, actually, I'll leave it up until we're ready, and then I've got to figure out which one I need to go to. Go back to Ecamm Live, back down to 8 nodes, and it doesn't look like our thumbs down magician is gonna answer up. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say 7-3 here on the YouTube side, and if you guys want, if you're still in there and you want to join me over here on Discord, there is an invite up on your screen for Discord. You can go ahead and join us over there. And we'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys on a video. Working on a few of them right now. And y'all have a good one. I'm Bob, K6UDA, and I'm out of here. 7-3, guys.